Let's just check my emails. Internet not connected? Oh, I must have the Wi-Fi switched off. No, Wi-Fi switched on, internet switched on, not connected. Aha, I know, just switch it off and switch it back on again, and it's bound to work, right? Internet not connected? I don't understand. What's wrong with this thing? I don't understand it. Why is it not working? Why aren't I connected? Business Basics, lesson number 3. Welcome. A technical problem. Simon sighed loudly. I know the feeling, Simon. I know the feeling. Technology can be so frustrating, can't it? What's up? Asked Sally. What's up? What's wrong? What's the matter? So Sally has noticed that Simon seems to be having trouble with his troublesome phone. And she turns to him and she says, Simon, what's the matter? What's the problem? What's up? This is very casual language use, but it's perfectly acceptable in the office between co-workers who know each other. You wouldn't want to use this with, I don't know, for example, your boss, although Simon actually is Sally's manager, but I mean, you wouldn't want to use it with, say, the company president or somebody like that. And you wouldn't really want to use it with clients or someone who you don't actually know. But between co-workers in the office who know each other, what's up? No problem whatsoever. I can't get the internet, said Simon, stabbing at his phone. What's wrong with it? I don't understand it. Why aren't I connected? Would you have a look? I can't get the internet, said Simon, stabbing at his phone. So Simon is sitting here like this, stabbing at his phone in frustration because he can't get the damn thing to connect to the internet. Simon, I know the feeling. A couple of months ago, I couldn't get my phone to connect to the internet either. Phone calls, no problem. SMS, perfect. Anything, however, that needed an internet connection, whether it was through Wi-Fi or through roaming, just would not connect. We ended up spending almost an entire day on the phone to Apple support trying to get it fixed. And in the end, the only suggestion that they could come up with was do a factory reset on the phone. And that's what we had to do. We did a complete hard restore on the whole thing and just reset it to factory settings. And whatever the problem was, fixed itself and it started working again. But it is extremely frustrating when technology doesn't just work, isn't it? What's wrong with it? Continues Simon. So what's wrong with it? Why isn't it working? What is the problem with this stupid damn phone? Why won't it connect to the internet? Is what he is saying here. So although this is phrased as a question, this of course isn't really a question. He's not asking Sally, what is the problem with my phone? Or indeed, he's not asking anybody what the problem with his phone is. Rather, he is talking to his phone and he is asking his phone, what's wrong with you? And by doing this, he is expressing his frustration, his irritation at the fact that he can't get his bloody phone to work. What's wrong with it? I don't understand it, Simon continues again. So he doesn't understand what the problem with his phone is. He doesn't understand why it won't connect to the internet. All the settings seem to be fine. Everything seems to be working okay. He's tried switching it off, switching it back on again, but still it won't connect to the internet. I don't get it, he says. So again, exactly the same as what's wrong with it? I don't understand it is really just Simon verbalizing his irritation at the fact that his technology, his device, won't just bloody well work. What's wrong with it? I don't understand it. Why aren't I connected? Simon says again. And yes, why aren't I connected means exactly the same thing here as what's wrong with it. I don't understand it. Simon is just expressing his frustration, his irritation at the fact that his phone won't work. And he is doing this again and again and again. You will see this a lot in English conversation. We often take phrases and expressions, synonymous phrases and expressions that all mean exactly the same thing, and line them up like this to add emphasis to whatever emotion it is that we are trying to convey. So if Simon had just said, I can't get the internet, why aren't I connected? That wouldn't really do much to convey his irritation to anybody who are, listening to him. Whereas when he says, I can't get the internet, what's wrong with it? I don't understand it. Why aren't I connected? 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. It really builds the emotion and it really emphasizes exactly how Simon is feeling about this, which is pretty pissed off in this situation. You will see this a lot with all kinds of different emotions. Would you take a look? Simon then says to Sally. So if you say to somebody, would you have a look? You are asking them to look at whatever it is that you are struggling with and either help you to fix it or to give you some advice on that thing. So here, Simon can't get his phone to work. He can't work it out. He can't get it to connect to the internet. So he's saying to Sally, could you have a look? Perhaps you can fix it for me. Another example might be if, say, you have a really complicated data set and you have to write a report based on this, but you really kind of just don't understand the data. You might ask somebody who is really good at this sort of thing, and you might say, would you have a look at this data set for me? I.e., would you have a look at this and give me some advice? Help me to understand what all of this data means. You need a teenager to help you, advised Sally. No use asking me. You need a teenager to help you. This is a pretty common expression that simply means if you want help with technology, don't ask me. Don't ask me because I am old and useless with technology. Instead, you should go and ask a young person, i.e., a technology native, someone who intuitively understands all this technology stuff and can show you how to fix it quickly and easily. I read a fantastic article on the internet recently about kids of today who are literally technology natives in the same way as you are a native of your first language. And because they've grown up with iPads and smartphones and all the technology that us old fogies struggle with, they have an intuitive understanding of how it all works. Again, in the same way as you have an intuitive understanding of your first language. And the things that they can do with technology is phenomenal. And this article, if I remember rightly, predicted that there will be an explosion of technology as these natives do things with it that we never even imagined possible. You need a teenager to help you, advised Sally. No use asking me. Another very, very common expression. If you say no use asking me, you are saying there is no point in asking me because I can't do it either. Don't come to me for help for your smartphone because I ain't got a clue. You need to go to a teenager instead. And there we have it. That is the story for Business Basics lesson number 3, a technical problem done and dusted. And yes, if you do have a technical problem with your smartphone, no use in asking me. You need to go get a teenager to help you with it because they will understand it far, far better than anybody else. Of course, your job now is, as always, just to go back over this story, make sure that you understand everything 100%. Make sure that you understand the language that we've talked about here, the actual meaning of the phrases and expressions that we have discussed, and also, more importantly, why it is being used and how it is being used here in this conversation. Any questions at all, just let me know, and make sure that you do the shadowing exercise, really perfect the pronunciation of all this language too, and I will see you in Business Basics lesson number 4. Thank you, and goodbye. Want to get more advanced, bigger, better, more detailed, more comprehensive business English lessons just like this one? Head over to doingenglish.com/membership and join us in Julian Northbrook's League of Extraordinary English Speakers.